everyone, how you going? Karen Finnan here, physiotherapist and telehealth practitioner. Now, in this really unfortunate time of COVID-19, many health professionals and health services are facing a rapid need to transition to telehealth in order to provide continuation of their services. Now, some of the advice that I'm giving in this situation is actually different to the advice that I would give if people were setting up a sustainable, well set up telehealth practice from scratch for the longer term. We don't have time for a lot of that at the moment. We need to do the quickest things we can to get up and running, and we're often transitioning existing patients rapidly to the telehealth space. So today I've got 3 top tips for a rapid transition to telehealth due to coronavirus. Tip number 1, if you haven't been doing telehealth already, now's time to check your indemnity insurance. Make sure you're covered for telehealth consultations. Tip number 2, now is not the time for FaceTime and Skype and those sort of video platforms. There are better quality and more secure ones out there. So if you haven't already, sign up for a trial with a good quality video conferencing system. I recommend those that are based on WebRTC, which basically means it's cloud-based and there's no download for the patient and no download for the therapist. Now, once you've got your video software, practice. Not even with consultations, just on getting the software working. So call someone in the room next door, call someone back at home, call your grandma, just practice using it, and make sure you practice using it as a therapist and also on the patient end so that you're experienced and equipped to advise your patients how to use it as well. Tip number 3 is around pricing, and this is where my advice is very different in this rapid transition than it is when you're establishing a more sustainable telehealth practice. I think at this stage we're all looking at transitioning existing bricks and mortar patients to the online space. They're existing patients, these will be follow-up consultations. Now, if you're perhaps a talk-based therapy, for example, that may be very direct. Your consultation is basically the same, it's just done through a video portal. But if you're a manual therapy-based profession, then maybe your follow-up consultations will be shorter online because you're not doing any of those manual therapy techniques. Don't forget, though, to use the opportunity for more education. And finally, if patients have been getting a rebate for their health service in a bricks and mortar practice, that may not be available to them in the telehealth space. But this is where it's really good for you as therapists and for the patients all to be directed to call the private health insurers, because the more pressure we put on them, the more we show that there is a huge demand for this, the more likely they are to fast track getting us rebates for those services. I think we need to resign ourselves to the fact that through the coronavirus, nearly all of us will have a financial impact in some way. That's true of your patients and it's true for you as a therapist. If an existing wonderful patient of yours has to transition to a telehealth consultation, maybe you might make the choice to take a little hit and charge them only the gap that they would normally pay through their private health insurer. You're getting telehealth experience, you're getting to add this skill to your practice, you're getting a real-time way to use and upskill in telehealth. So perhaps taking a hit on the consultation fee in the shorter term might be a benefit to you in the longer term. All right, guys, this is a really challenging time for us all, for everyone in the world, but hopefully these tips have helped you to get set up so that we can create some great continuity of service for our wonderful patients and give new opportunities in our health practices down the track. Now, if you are in quarantine yourself or you just really want to dive deep on telehealth and do everything you can to get set up, there's loads of great free information at my website, karenfinnan.com. There's some videos and blog posts, lots of information to get set up. And if you really want to take it to the next step and find out everything there is to know, everything I've learned in my past 8 years of practicing telehealth, then there's also an online program that you can purchase that will get you up to speed absolutely as thoroughly and quickly as possible. So that's www.karenfinnan.com, and any questions, please reach out. Stay well, stay safe, and I'll be in touch really soon.